here, and for Valentine's Day I'm going to do a tutorial for wall plane flowers. Prerequisites for this tutorial will be knowing how to do a 4-petal anti-spin flower, okay? Knowing how to pulsate the hoop at each petal, or sort of grasp the hoop lightly so that you aren't just doing this, okay? You're actually making 4 different petals to the flower, okay? So if you know how to do an anti-spin flower, of course, with both hands, that'll be very helpful because I'm not going to explain exactly what your hands do, but rather the journey the hoops take. 2 different ways how to actually get this move, just in case the first way doesn't work. I used to hate this trick, but I realized that when I started adding more petals to it, the first way would be easier, the second way wouldn't be as easy. I'll get into all that later. So if you have a set of twin hoops and you've always wanted to learn this move, but it never really worked out for you, then with no further ado, I'll do my best to teach you. So let's jump right in. Okay, hoopers, first things first, for this tutorial, my right hand will have the light pink hoop, right, light. Left will have the neon yellow. Okay, so right, light, just remember that. So first, let's discuss what our hands are doing. My right hand, which is my dominant hand, you can obviously do this the opposite way. I'm going to teach it with my right hand being my dominant hand. My right hand starts on top, my left hand starts on bottom. Now for this move, you don't have to bend your elbows at all. You're going to keep your elbows locked as much as possible. I have low ceilings, so if you see me having a bent arm when I'm up here, usually when I'm outside, it's straight so that you can make this pattern look beautiful. So right, left, wrists facing out towards you. So I'm not like this, I'm like this, grabbing the hoops. What I do is the opposite, okay? Now what they do is my right hand goes out, my left hand goes out. So they're meeting both out. The hoops are out at the same time. Then my right goes down, my left goes up, so they're opposite. And then they both travel down or up at the same time. Okay? Now, first things first, we will be anti-spinning and then anti-spinning and then traveling either up or down. So I want you to imagine, for my right hand, there will be a rectangle standing tall on my right thigh. On my left thigh will be a rectangle, okay? So they're right next to each other. So that when we do our coming back to start, they are traveling in a straight line, and that is where they're going, in that rectangle, okay? You do not want one hand to be going up into its rectangle while the other hand is sort of making a circle or going, you know, we want this move to be nice and clean. So if this rectangle idea helps you, then just look in a mirror and try to keep the pathway of your hands nice and straight, staying in the rectangles when they go back to start. We'll start with the right hand, which has the light pink hoop. Remember, you want nice straight arms. You don't have to bend your elbows at all. So our right starts near our ear, sort of like a cheerleader move, which I can relate to. But right now I could straighten it out, but once I put a hoop into it, because of my low ceilings, I obviously can't grip it. So it will look like this for me, or like this, but you want it nice and straight up, okay? So our right hand is going to start up. Our thumb will be pointing to our left side, and we want to bring our arm from here out. So we are going to anti-spin the hoop and pulsate or grip it slightly just to keep our planes nice and clean. Then when we are Ready to bring our arm down, we anti-spin the hoop down, keeping our arm nice and straight. Now instead of re-gripping our hand here, our hoop is immediately going to drag up. Okay, so we don't even need to re-grip our hand. We sort of just have to travel our hand with our hoop because the momentum from both of these petals that we just made is going to automatically make the hoop want to travel up, okay? See how it wants to go up? So with our hand, we are just going to make sure that our planes are nice and straight, keeping it in that imaginary rectangle on our right side, okay? So keeping it when it travels up in that rectangle. So what I do is when the hoop bounces up, when it's halfway there, I re-grip it and help it travel the rest of the way by sort of isolating the hoop until I am back to start. This is the right hand and it starts up. Anti-spin out, anti-spin down. The momentum from those two petals or anti-spins will make the hoop want to travel up. I re-grip halfway and continue the nice clean rectangle. The left hand starts down, thumb pointing to the left side, so both thumbs are pointing towards the left side, wrist facing out. What I want to do here is anti-spin the hoop so that it goes out, because they're both out at the same time. So I'm going to sort of give it a little upswing, okay, so that it anti-spins out. It's a little tough to start the first petal, so the hoop is going to roll over your pointer finger first. Even though your pinky is closest, we want it to spin towards the pointer finger first. Pulsating or re-gripping when it goes out, then anti-spin up, nice and straight near your ear, and then the momentum from these two petals will make the hoop want to travel down. So what I do is let it travel down in the imaginary rectangle I made on my left side, and then it's a little different for the left side. I sort of just let it flow halfway down and then sort of just, I don't really even grab the hoop at all. I just let it flow nice and cleanly down. So the left side's a little different. So anti-spin out, anti-spin up. The hoop is going to want to drop down, back to start. And this is what the left hand is doing. It's a little tougher to start the left hand or the whatever hand you're using to start at the bottom, because when the hoop is on top, it's easy to just anti-spin out, but you have to actually use some force to get the hoop going, okay? But once you start it, it'll be a lot easier. And I'm gonna have to bend a little for this to show you what it looks like. See how I'm trying to keep it in that imaginary rectangle near my thigh. This is the left hand. Let's put both hoops together using this method. And what this method is basically the method of starting one hand up, one hand down, and using the momentum of the anti-spins to let the hoops travel next to each other in the imaginary rectangles, okay? So as soon as I want to start this trick, you can go from any move that you like, but what I like to do is just immediately, of course this is not what it would really look like. What I want to do is immediately just anti-spin out at the same time. Now you can't chop this move up. You can't focus on, okay, I'm going to anti-spin out, and then I'm going to anti-spin up, and then it's sort of like one fluid motion, just like the anti-spin 4-petal flower is one motion, okay? This move with both hands or with one hand alone is one motion because you're not re-gripping the hoop. You're just sort of using your hand to guide the hoop, okay? So it feels like just one move, all right? So what we're going to do is anti-spin out to the same time, okay? Then switch sides, anti-spinning up with our left hand, down with our right hand. I am hitting everything. And then of course the momentum from the the pedals or the 2 anti-spins you just did will make the hoop either want to travel down or up, okay, until you're back to start. And like I said, it takes practice. Do one hand at a time, but you'll notice in a mirror that the idea here is that the momentum from the 2 anti-spins makes the hoops want to travel either down or up in your imaginary rectangles, keeping this move pretty simple. We're going to start with an inside grip, thumbs pointing towards each other, hoops right in front of us, and we're just going to start swinging the hoops by letting go and letting the hoops fall to our left side first. And I'm hitting my light again, and this is how we're going to get into the move, okay? The right goes up first, and the left goes down first, okay? So thumbs are pointing towards each other. They're both going to drop to do the hand spin to the left side, okay? So this is how you could start this move, okay? And when you're ready, the right hand goes up, the left goes down, okay? Trying to keep my planes as clean as possible, okay? Now, why I like this way, like I said, is because when you start to add another pedal, a 4th or 5th pedal, you, for some reason for me, it's easier this way, okay? So if I just want to do this move nice and clean, I do the first method, okay? No matter what, and then I do whatever, okay? But if I say to myself while I'm flowing, I want to do this cool, you know, add another pedal, 4th or 5th pedal, I start like this. And I just recently decided to do this because I was messing with this a lot, okay? So this is what I'm saying if I want to add another pedal, okay? So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4 pedals, okay? So here's a 3 pedal wall playing flower, 4th pedal, and Cassandra Morrison has a tutorial for this, or you can add a pedal in the middle, which I see Katarina Sutton do a lot, or you could put both together, which I've been getting into lately, which is not easy. Of course, I squat like a sumo wrestler in my house, which does not help. This also, for some reason, gets me really out of breath. It's probably because I'm lunging. But, yes, like I said, for some reason, I don't know why, if I want to start adding more pedals, this way works better for me. I don't know if it's because the hoops are already spinning, giving it momentum, okay? But, yes, that is it, guys. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask. Anyways, I got these hoops from my beautiful sponsor, Festival Treasures. If you need a new hoop, check out their Etsy shop. I will link it in the description below. Use my code VEGANHOOPER for 10% off of your purchase total. If you guys want to learn anything, feel free to ask or tag me on Instagram. I am Miss Maynard Keenan. I would love to see you there. I am obsessed. And I hope that you guys have a beautiful day filled with laughter and a lot of spinning. Bye guys, God bless. Mwah.